Good evening. One of the great traditions of Maundy Thursday is the washing of feet. Back when I was in seminary, I remember a really vigorous conversation about this. One of my classmates offered that at her parish, they gave the option of washing hands because, washing feet can be really awkward. So we had a conversation about this, like, is that okay to wash hands instead of feet? And generally, we came to the conclusion, no. The tradition starts by following the example that Jesus gives us in the 13th chapter of the Gospel of John. In John's version of what we have come to know as the Last Supper. It's the Gospel we always read on Maundy Thursday under normal circumstances. And Jesus gets down to wash Peter's feet, and Peter protests. Now that's going to be really important to what I have to say here. Peter says, no, Lord, you're not going to wash my feet. You have to wash the feet. Not because it's in the Bible, but precisely because of Peter's protest. Because it's awkward. In Jesus' day, at least in the better homes, if you will, when a guest would arrive, a servant would wash their feet as a sign of hospitality. Notice it's a servant that does this. Now, also in Jesus' day, people probably walked most of the time to where they were going. So their feet were dirty and maybe smelly. And so this was servant's work. And Jesus, as a servant, gets down on his hands and knees and washes the feet of those who are his servants. And he tries to explain to them that the way to be great in the kingdom of God is not through authority or acts of power, but through humble acts of service. And I think in our own culture, it's really, really important to go ahead and do the washing of the feet, again, precisely because it is so awkward. Not just to touch someone else's feet, but to allow your feet to be touched. Because I really think in our culture we have difficulty accepting help, even when we need it. So this is a time when learning to offer and receive help is vitally important, and that is modeled for us so beautifully in this tradition of the washing of the feet. And then you come to the year 2020 and we can't do it because of the health circumstances that surround us. So having just told you not to give the option of washing your hands on Maundy Thursday, this year I want to tell you, wash your hands. Not as an accommodation, but as an expression of that same principle of how we best care for other people. The best thing you can do for other people right now is to maintain these protocols. Wash your hands for love of others. The other important tradition, of course, on Maundy Thursday is the institution of Holy Communion, the Last Supper. Bread and wine broken and shared among the disciples is a sign of Christ's abiding presence. We also can't do that this year. But there is an ancient custom of meditation and prayer and contemplation in the presence of the consecrated sacrament. Now, this bread and this wine were consecrated some weeks ago because we have not been able to celebrate Holy Communion given the current protocols. But I invite you to gaze upon this bread and this wine and contemplate what the presence of Christ means for you. I am confident that Christ's presence is not limited or obstructed or stopped by the circumstances we find ourselves in today. So watch and pray as our assistant music director, Nicholas Ertsgaard, and I sing for you the traditional plain song chant for Maundy Thursday, the Pange Lingua.
Now my tongue the mystery telling of the glorious telling, which the Gentiles Lord and King. Once on earth among us dwelling, shed for this world's ransoming.
Given for us and condescending, to be born for us below. He with us in converse blending, dwelt the seed of truth to sow, till he closed with wondrous ending his most patient life of woe.
Therefore we before him bending, this great sacrament reveal. Types and shadows have their ending, for the newer light is here. Faith, our outward sense befriending, makes our inward vision clear.
Glory let us give and blessing to the Father and the Son. Honor, thanks, and praise